the mystery of the vanishing chips. The sun was just peeking over the rooftops in the quiet town of Crumbleton when 7-year-old Tia's eyes snapped open. It was the day of the annual dessert contest, and Tia had a feeling that this was her year to win. She hopped out of bed, her heart racing with excitement, and hurried to the kitchen, her dog, Scooter, following closely behind. She pulled open the pantry door and reached for the jar labelled chocolate chips. It was lighter than she expected. It was completely empty. The chips were gone. But Tia stammered, looking at the jar, her eyes wide with surprise. Scooter tilted his head to one side, matching her puzzled expression. Tia put on her detective hat, both figuratively and literally. She was not about to let this mystery ruin her day. As she made her way around Crumbleton, she found she wasn't the only one with missing chocolate chips. Mrs. Baker, the town's sweetest old lady, was missing her bag of chips too. Even Mr. Crumble, the baker, who had the biggest collection of chocolate chips, had none left. "Disappeared? Just like that," Mr. Crumble said, throwing his hands up in the air. By lunchtime, Tia had a list of everyone in town with missing chocolate chips, and no clues. She sat down on the park bench, staring at the list, her brow furrowed. Scooter rested his head on her lap, whining slightly. "I don't get it, Scooter," Tia said, scratching behind Scooter's ears. "Where could all the chocolate chips have gone?" Just then, a streak of brown caught her eye. She squinted at the ground where it had fallen. "A chocolate chip?" She picked it up and examined it. It was still shiny and new, not a chip that could have been missed in the clean-up. Tia's heart began to race again. Could this be the clue she needed? Tia and Scooter followed the trail of chocolate chips that led them out of the town, into the woods, and right to the door of a small, old shack. The door creaked as Tia pushed it open. Inside, to her utter surprise, were bags upon bags of chocolate chips. But who would take all the chocolate chips, and why? Just then, a small rustling sound made her turn. Out from behind a bag waddled a small creature, a raccoon. It had a chocolate chip clutched in its paw, munching on it happily. Tia laughed, relief washing over her. So it was a sweet-toothed raccoon all along. She gently took the chocolate chip from the raccoon, offering it a piece of her apple in exchange. Then she loaded up Scooter's wagon with the stolen goods. Back in Crumbleton, the news of the mystery's resolution spread quickly. Laughter echoed through the town square as everyone collected their chocolate chips from Scooter's wagon. Tia beamed as she watched her friends and neighbours, their spirits lifted. With her detective hat firmly on her head and Scooter by her side, she couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. She might not win the dessert contest this year, but she had saved the day. And that was even sweeter. The end.